Hi guys, today is still the 25th of March 2020. It's 24 minutes past 11 in the morning over here in the UK. I just wanted to go back to November 16th, 2019 when I posted this video talking about an earthquake and stuff like that in the beginning. But I also went on to talk a bit more about the HIV possible interpretation from inside the tower and what that led on to. And I just had a post on my last video, the one I posted before this one, about the coronavirus and how that's a potential false flag and it may have been created at Fort Detrick in Maryland, United States. So I went back because I remember I did do some research on Fort Detrick and it's in this video. So I'm just going to play a little bit of it and I'll stop it when I feel appropriate.
HIV, but a different version, such as a weaponized version. Now that's what I typed in when I was thinking along that line, and it came up with this Wikipedia report, Operation Infection. It was a popular name given to a disinformation campaign run by the KGB, that would be the Russians, in the 1980s, to plant the idea that the United States had invented HIV/AIDS as part of a biological weapons research project at Fort Detrick. Now, when you look at Fort Detrick is a U.S. Army medical research place, and one of the things they research is infectious diseases. HIV would come under that. Not only that, but where Fort Detrick is located, I'll go back here, you can see it's just circled here, this is in Maryland. Now, Maryland, along with New Jersey and Delaware, make up the silhouette of the old lady, with Delaware being the old lady's nose. If I go back, you can see, hopefully, try and stop it when it's sideways. Never mind, I'll stop it. When it gets here. So yeah, this would be the representation of Delaware. The open mouth would be leading up to Washington, just as it is on the map, with the mouth part here being the river that leads up to Washington, and the nose being Delaware. Fort Detrick being the place where potentially the HIV virus was created, and potentially where a more lethal version of the disease could be released or created from there and then released. But it's just an interpretation, but it's one of them that I haven't thought about before. Always just.
So remember, this is November 2019. We're talking about Operation Infection, the potential for a more deadly virus or disease to be released. It was in connection with HIV, but then when I'm looking at the next month and the interpretation that I did with the tap dancing for SARS in 2019, combining the two, HIV, Fort Detrick, SARS 2019, it all seemed to be there in some form. Obviously it wasn't completely correct, but it just makes me think that all the research that we've done over the last 3 years, it's not to be discarded, it's not to be wasted, because we can go back for now and look at the work that we've done and see how close we were to a potential correct interpretation. Now, the fact that in this scene with the old lady, she's backed away from the bars of the window because of an explosion or something that's taken place in the distance, it just brings into mind that if Fort Detrick did create this virus, and I can't say that they did for sure, but if they did, and it was discovered that they did, then it may be a case of blowing it up and getting rid of it completely. Obviously, that would have to come from an external actor, most likely, which is why we've got so many interpretations for submarines along the East Coast and missiles flying up and landing along the East Coast. We had the propaganda video from Russia showing their hypersonic missile targeting Florida, and various other propagandas, tsunamis being used to destroy warships from Iran. So all of that, plus the location, just brings into mind, if there is an attack on the East Coast, I think one of their main targets will be to target Fort Detrick, this medical research facility which deals with infectious diseases like the coronavirus, like HIV, and others. Smallpox, for example, is another disease I've looked at in association with this video because of all the marks that are left on the children's heads in the classroom. That has a very pock-marky feel to it. So smallpox is another virus that could potentially be weaponized and used. Obviously, I don't want to put any fear out there, but you guys need to be aware and cautious. Um, with that said, be on the lookout for everything that we've talked about over the last 3 years, and maybe even longer if you've been following other people that have been doing this for longer than I have. You know, their information is relevant. So that's it. You guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and may the Heavenly Father bless you.